in what used to be a North and Central showdown is now a North and South showdown, with the Mavericks making the move into the Southern Division and the Central Division being a thing of the past. These two teams will renew acquaintances here from Southside Arena. It's the Warriors and the Mavericks opening up their season here in the Junior B Alberta Loop. Starting in goal for the Warriors will be number 30, Lucas Bialik. And down in the Maverick end, it'll be number 30, Cameron Greenlee. The Mavericks come in fresh off of another trip to the Founders, where they represented Alberta and fell in the bronze medal game to the host Shamrocks. And the Warriors look to rebound off of what was a rebuilding year and a 2-18 record as they look to climb the North standings once again and find themselves back in the playoffs. It's the Warriors and the Mavericks here on NetFront Sports. And the Warriors, wearing their home reds, will move left to right on your screen, while the Mavericks will move right to left, wearing their road yellow. As the ball's brought in, it's tied up. That aggressive D starting up quickly for the Mavericks. Ball's brought across the top by Royer, and that shot's disrupted and it goes wide. Potential break here for the Mavericks as it's brought in, and a hit from behind is going to send the Warriors to the box, and the first power play will go the way of the Mavericks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as we open up a new season here, formerly known as Crolax, now rebranded as NetFront. Everybody tuning in, we thank you very much for joining us here, as we have a couple of teams that have gone to the Founders the last couple of years. The Mavericks in 24 and 25, the Warriors in 22 and 23. Ball up top. That's Cadidol working the top of the power play. Victoria off of a big year for the Mavericks. Bounding back up to Cadidol. Victoria. Cadidol. Plays catch with Victoria. Up pick. Now the ball goes over down low. A shot into the stick of Bialik. And now we got another call coming up here. It looks like they're going to take both. Bauming of the Mavericks. And I believe that's Stashnik for the Warriors. So we'll go to a 4-on-3 advantage now for the Mavericks. It'll be Warrior ball because of they're going to deem the last infraction was committed by the Mavericks. Just a minute in here, still scoreless. We'll play 4-on-3. Actually, it's going to be 5-on-4 here. Yeah, okay, that is 4-on-3. They're going to tell the benches. So we will play 4-on-3. The two teams both take a guy off the floor. Here's Basinger for the Warriors. Ball swings across the top, up high to Hilkowicz, the rookie. Sends that over to the right side. Ball with Hilkowicz here by the Maverick bench. Double comes. And he does a good job of maintaining it here. Swim move off of the wall, and then he gets belted by a slide defender. And that'll take the 32nd down, and it'll be Maverick ball. Mavericks losing a bunch of talent from a year ago. A lot of it going up to A, and primarily the junior A minors. You'll see Grayson Amundsen, Everett Muratori, and others up there this year. Ball is going to be worked around here. Victoria takes it, and he just grazed the bar there. Bialik got a piece of it as well. Here's Cadidil over to Victoria. Victoria, Cadidil, Victoria. As they play catch across the top, that's a soak by the Warriors. Penalty kill. Cadidil. Ball works its way back to Victoria. And that shot goes high and wide. Ball is picked up by the Mavericks. Looks like Clayton down low. And that's going to be picked up by the Warriors. And here goes Reich, who the Warriors acquired in the offseason from the Crude. He'll lug the ball up the floor. Now the ball is missed by Andrusiak, and it'll turn back over as the teams play 4-on-4 here. Victoria gets the ball up high. Now off the right side, they get it and work it back over to the left. As that ball gets swung, it's missed, picked back up by Cadadill. Victoria has that bounce at his feet, he picks it back up. That shot comes in from Cadadill. Loose ball right in the middle of the 24, and Victoria, who's been very involved here early, picks it back up. He's going to be a guy that the Mavericks are going to rely on heavily out the front gate this year. As the Mavericks get a reset here. As Zimmer goes through heavy traffic. Bosworth to Harnack. And now they're going to call a cross check, and I think it's going to go to Zimmer as he takes an offensive zone penalty, a little too aggressive on the pick. So the Warriors power play will get its first opportunity after an early kill. I gotta say, these new red jerseys that the Warriors are wearing are pretty slick. I've always preferred the Warrior red over the black. As the Maverick box explodes, gets back up top, shot, and that's smothered by Greenlee. Here's Harnack, the veteran, makes his way over center. Probably going to be relied on to play some offense this year for the Mavericks. Victoria up near the blue. All the way to the net, Chase Victoria tried to go up high on Bialik, and that's shrugged off by the netminder. In his 4th season for the Warriors. Now the ball sits up top with Warwa. Basinger, Warwa. Andrusiak. That was a little bit behind Basinger, and he sort of just missed it. Cadadill. He's been all over the floor as well, playing power play and short man. As that ball gets picked up by the Mavericks, and it's rolled up to center and turnover. Warwa, the rookie, to Nicholson, and he's stopped by Greenlee. As Nicholson dropped his stick, and he kind of told Greenlee where he was going with that ball. And here come the Mavericks. Back up floor, looking to kill the final 30 seconds of this penalty. Heavy hack there. Ball's swung over. Benko, drag move. He gets doubled. Benko now triple teamed, and he has to just roll it in behind the net. And the shot clock will expire. 15 seconds remaining on the kill for the Mavericks. And we'll see if the Warriors, how aggressive they get with the man about to come out of the box. You'll see a lot of teams just hold this because they don't want to go have a shot go wide and allow the team to fast break up the floor. They do take a shot, and the Mavericks will possess. 14:30 to go here, first period. It's a scoreless draw here from Southside Arena. Here's Victoria, half wall. That shot comes in from Bosworth, easily handled by Bialik, and the double comes in the corner, nicely moved up to Stashnik, who's got heavy traffic to work through himself. Stashnik bulls his way over the rag line and deep into Maverick territory. Brody Stash up high, gets it to Royer in his 2nd season for the Warriors. Nice cross-crease pass from Morris. Hits Nicholson. Nicholson behind the back feed, and that bounces off the floor into the stick of Greenlee. As the ball moves up over center floor. Cadadill hands it off to Clayton, back to Cadadill. Clayton, nice move around his defender. A second defender comes in, the double comes, and that's good defense by the Warriors. You're seeing a much more aggressive athletic defense than you saw a year ago with the Warriors. As you would expect, they had 9 of the first 12 picks in the draft or something around that number. And added some veterans in the offseason, and now the Mavericks are going to try and collect, but they failed to do so, but it'll be over and back. Warrior ball, or Maverick ball. I expected a lower scoring game coming into this game, and so far that's what we got. Of course, as soon as I say that, that's when they're going to score. As Bosworth swings it, Victoria back to Bosworth. Ball into the stick of Caddidill. He looks inside. Zimmer was planted inside the 24, but the ball missed him. And now the ball's batted by the Warriors. It's going to be picked back up by the Mavericks with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Fast break opportunity. Harnack wide open out the gate. Harnack, and he's stopped by Bialik. Good shoulder save there by the netminder, but it'll be a Maverick possession with the ball going up and out of play. Mavericks, year after year, love to transition the ball. Like to get those fast break opportunities. Big stop there by Bialik out of the corner. In front, and that's stopped as they call a crease violation. Banco with the opportunity for the Mavericks. As the ball is going to be run up the floor here by the Warriors. Lemieux coming over from the Crude in the offseason, gets hit from behind, and he's going to draw a call. The Warriors go 6-on-5 here with Bialik out of the net. Nice move inside, drag to the net, and it somehow trickles through the netminder Greenlee as Lemieux, who drew the call, ends up scoring, and the Warriors have a 1-0 lead. So, as I said a few minutes ago, Lemieux comes over from the St. Albert Crude, gets his first in a Warrior uniform, and he opens up the season scoring for the Warriors. The Warriors lead 1-0. Draws one by the Mavericks, 3-on-2. Harnack to the dotted, got hit, turns back and shoots, and stopped by Bialik. Been sharp here in the early going. And now here come the Warriors. Ball hits a leg, and it's going to be picked up by the Mavericks, but they drop it. Victoria tries to box his man out. Ball stays loose, picked back up by the Warriors. Victoria tried a can opener check, but that didn't work. And here come the Warriors. That wild shot from way out goes wide, and it'll be Maverick ball as we work our way to the midpoint of this first period. As the Mavericks look to get their offense going here. Ball in behind the net. Brought up by Bosworth. Swung. Clayton. Nice move. Tried to feed it to a cutter. Now it's picked up right in front of the net by Caddidill, stopped by Bialik. He was moving very well inside the crease. Looks confident. Very efficient for the Warriors here so far as the Warriors look to fast break off the bench. Royer cuts inside, got pushed out to a severe angle. He'll tuck it back in and then gets it to a cutter, and that's a good finish right in front of the net as Warwa, the Sherwood Park product, goes low on Greenlee, 2-0. Couple of Sherwood Park kids connecting to double the lead. Harnack, a loose ball machine, creates a 2-on-1. Victoria inside, and he finishes beautifully to the far side, about hip high on Bialik. It's 2-1 as the ref is late to signal the goal. And Victoria with the quick answer to cut the lead in half. Excellent patience there by the veteran lefty as he got Bialik to freeze up, threw a couple of fakes to the short side, reached around him, and the Warriors now lead by 1. Ball's one to the near boards, and it's picked back up by Morris. Morris is going to peel out. He's going to have to deal with the defender, but he gets the ball up high. Ball's on the right side with Muir, but he throws it away. Now it's loose. It's going to be scrambled for, and it's picked up by the Warriors. Hoagland hits Andrusiak. Andrusiak tried to come back short side. He lost the ball, though, and Hilkowicz will repossess. No time on the shot clock. He just tried to throw one at the net. It hit a stick, and Mavericks ball. Ball's picked up by the Warriors. Heavy traffic at mid-floor. Good work there to push through as Austin Allen gets thrown into the corner. He picks the ball back up and gets it up high as it's settled by the Warriors. That shot went off of a body as a delayed call is coming up. They'll either call this a high stick or a slash. They call it a slash. And the Warriors will get their third power play opportunity of the day. Looks like they're penalizing two Maverick players. Maybe it looks like too many men, illegal substitution. So it's going to be 5-on-3 here for the Warriors. We're going to have our first media timeout of the first period. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in here on NetFront. We got a pair of teams opening up their season. The Mavericks on the road here, coming to Edmonton to face the Warriors. Warriors with much bigger hopes and expectations this year. The Mavericks looking to start a bit of a rebuild of their own after 2 years of heading to the Founders Cup. Much younger and a much different team here. But they're right in this game, but they're going to have to kill off a 5-on-3 here, down one. So Muir will hang up high here. You'll see him gather loose balls, do his best to not let the ball go over and back. You'll see teams do this all the time. It spaces the floor better for teams on the power play, and it makes the penalty kill have to spread out. As that ball gets sent into the midsection of Greenlee, and it's going to be picked up by Harnack. He's got to avoid the 10-second count, 8-second count. Harnack makes his way to the net, and he'll go in behind it. Stashnik is going to rough him up a bit. Harnack carries it up high now. Benko to the net, and he tried to float one over top of Bialik. It just went a bit high as Basinger comes back into the zone. And the Warrior power play will reconvene. This time 12s will be the man up high. And Basinger and Andrusiak will work off the shooters. I don't know why they're working the ball up high to 12s here, who's at center. And that's an easy stop for Greenlee. I don't think they knew what they were quite supposed to be doing there. They're working the ball up to 12s, who was just manning the loose balls as that ball gets sent into the stick of Cadidel. And he's going to be doubled, and the ball's going to turn over. Ball goes loose. It's picked back up by Lafleur. And he gets it to Warwa, who has one in this game. And he hits Andrusiak. Royer. Cross crease feed. Bad pass gathered back up by Hoagland. Hoagland has room to step, and he decided to just take a quick shot, stopped by Greenlee. Loose ball by 12s, who makes his way into the play. Now on the wrong side of the floor, he threw a bad pass that was about 3 feet away from his target, and it'll go up and out of play, Maverick ball. Now the Mavericks turn it over right into the stick of Hoagland. So some sloppy play here. It's going to result in the teams going back to 5-on-5. No damage done on that power play. And the 5-on-3 goes to waste. Warriors still up 2-1. Outside rip, that goes wide. Now on the step down, ball's picked back up at center. Here's Warwa. Inside, Nicholson, bounce shot and scores. Dylan Nicholson flooded inside on the off-ball cut. Grabbed it and went low, far side on Greenlee to make it a 3-1 game. Ball is going to be up for grabs here. Picked back up by the Warriors, and they've got a fast break opportunity. And a good save there by Greenlee as the Warriors' Reich found himself in all alone. So many new faces on this Warriors team. And new numbers, still getting used to it here. As the ball swings into the stick of Andrusiak. Andrusiak had his shot soaked. Good loose ball there by the Mavericks. And they have a potential 2-on-1 here. They'll pull out though as the Warriors' defense makes its way onto the floor just in time. Ball up high, Bauming. Bosworth swings it into the stick of Clayton. Now up high. That pass didn't get to its target, and then the ball almost rolled in as it made its way into the crease. Here's Stashnik. Peels out and gets the ball to Hoagland, another rookie out of Sherwood Park. There's quite a few of those on this Warrior team. Another Warwa works his way, spin move, off the pick, grabs the loose ball, tried to backhand feed behind the back feed, and that got disrupted. And now potential break here for the Mavericks, but the Warriors get out the gate. A little bit of a quick change there. They get away with it though. And the Maverick offense will set up Bosworth to Bauming. And that shot just missed on the far side. And here goes Reich once again. Reich all the way to the net. Reich gets stopped by Greenlee. So Reich already with 2 or 3 opportunities here on the fast break. Guy's just a force. Talked about it last year with the Crude. I thought he was, along with Drader, really their best defender, and he's showing it here again here tonight. Another breakaway for the Warriors, and Greenlee once again makes the stop. This time turning away Morrow. Here's Victoria. He gets it to the half wall for Clayton. Bauming. Bosworth up high to Victoria. That shot comes in, and good stop there by Bialik, who stops Clayton down low. And that pass was thrown behind Stashnik, and the Mavericks netminder Greenlee will scoop that up casually and send it into the corner where it's quickly brought up by Bryn Bosworth. Here's Catadil. Hop step to the net, Catadil, but then he gets thrown down violently as he tried to reach up and throw that towards the net. And here's Lafleur. Hands it off to Morris. Morris gets stripped. And here go the Mavericks. Good check there by Murray. Bosworth tried to go underneath, and he got cut off, so he sends it up top to Bauming. Clayton is going to control. Gets the pick from Victoria. He sends it up to Bauming. Bauming to Bosomworth. Bosomworth, low to low, and that's stopped by Bialik. Three minutes to go here, first period. Warriors in front, 3-1 here on NetFront Sports. Hit that subscribe button, give us a like, please. It helps the algorithm as Hoagland helps the Warrior algorithm with that one. Stings it short side, and it's a 4-1 Warrior lead. Larson Hoagland, another Sherwood Park rookie, joins the party. It's 4-1 Warriors. The Mavericks win another draw here. And this is a time in the game where they're probably in need of an answer. Down 4-1 as that shot comes in and easily handled by Bialik. Picked up by the Mavericks. Fresh 30. But it's thrown away now. And a battle ensues, picked up by the Warriors. As that ball gets bounced up awkwardly, but gets to its target. Morrow hands off to Royer. Royer tried to feed Basinger, who cut wide open underneath, but the pass was well off the mark, and the Mavericks are going to try and get this over center. And they do so with Caddo. As the Mavericks come in off the bench, they try to crash the middle. Ball gets thrown into the near boards, and they're going to call moving pick. And it'll be Warrior ball. Potential 2-on-1 here. And that's good shoulder save by Greenlee as he turns away Russell. And they're going to call loose ball interference, maybe through the crease. And didn't quite see the signal, wasn't looking at the moment. I was looking down at my sheet, but it will be Maverick ball in any event. Here's Caddo, down low. Bosomworth surveys the middle of the floor. He'll swing into the stick of Clayton, now in behind the net. And a little bit of an attempt from behind the net, and they're going to say goal. As Bauming, it looked like, used his height and his reach to tuck that up top, over top of Bialik, and it's 4-2. Ball's drawn back, and the Mavericks will possess. Benko goes back to pick it up. He gets pressured by Nicholson, and he's almost turns it over, but the ball goes loose, and it's picked up by the Mavericks once again. Here's Clayton. Frosty. The Maverick offense is having some trouble here getting set up, and the ball's going to turn over. LaFleur throws a rainbow that somehow gets up to the Warrior offense, and here's Hoagland. And the Warriors control here with just about 2 seconds more game clock than shot clock. So they'll have to shoot before the buzzer, as Royer is jammed in tight, and he just got a little bit of a shot off towards Greenlee, easily stopped, and now it's turned over once again. Ball sent up floor. Ball bounces harmlessly over top of the net, and that will do it for the first period of play. Your score, the Edmonton Warriors 4, the Mountain View Mavericks 2. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on NetFront Sports. It's the season opener for these two clubs that have each gone to the last 4 founders. The Mavericks going in 25 and 24, and the Warriors attending in 23 and 22. After 1, it's the Warriors 4, the Mavericks 2. We'll be right back on NetFront with the second period of play in just under 10 minutes. Welcome back inside George Hughes Southside Arena for second period action. It's the Warriors and the Mavericks. The Warriors, the 4-2 lead. In the season opener for both of these teams, as I touched on off the top, the Warriors residing in the north and the Mavericks moving into the south with realignment. No longer is there a central division, so your south division looks like the following: Shamrocks, Mountaineers, Chill, Marauders, Silvertips, Mavericks. Your north division remains the same, but they added Red Deer, so Warriors, Crude, Outlaws, Rebels, Rampage, and then the east is down to 2 teams with the Blizzard going to A. You've got the SWAT and the Queen City Kings as we're set here for second period action. Mavericks will gain possession off the face-off. Route right in front, Clayton wide open. Left all alone on the doorstep, and the lead is down to 1. Clayton showing off some pretty nifty mitts in front of the net. The Mavericks, with the short change offensively, you can be sure we'll try to take advantage of that and have a big period. Here's Lemieux. Hits the cutter. That was Warwa down Main Street. That got stopped by Greenlee. Here's Royer. Swim move, Royer to the net, and then he just pushed that wide. Long floor pass gets knocked down by Warrior. That's Warwa. And he'll pick that back up. Good work by the rookie. He hands it off to a fellow Sherwood Park rookie in Hoagland. Now down low to Royer. The sophomore looks inside, and that got picked off by the Mavericks. And here they go. Harnack, who's been a beast on loose balls all game, looks to push. 2-on-1 out of the gate. He's got Clayton. Clayton's crease dive, and that goes just off target. Loose ball picked back up by Harnack, who got whacked. No call, and the ball's going to turn over into Warrior possession. And Druziak off the left side has Basinger cutting, couldn't bring it in. Royer back over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak steps across the top. That shot goes wide. That's going to be back over. Maverick ball. So a couple of quick ones, even this one up, and the Mavericks find themselves tied for the first time in a long time early in the second. The ball is picked up by Harnack all the way to the cage. Good stop there by Bialik. And that was a timely one because the Mavericks would have been on a real run there with 3 goals just inside the first 2 minutes of this second period. Double comes, Warriors just get the ball to safety into the stick of Lemieux. Matt Lemieux takes a whack. They're going to call that, although it kind of looked like there was stick contact there, but the Warriors going to get a call here as the ball bounces back over center. And the Mavericks will return to the box. So Warwa will be the pilot of this power play up top. Andrusiak, Royer on the shooters. And Basinger and Nicholson down low. Nicholson moves up to the shooter, swings it over to Royer, shooter to shooter. Now he sets an up pick for Andrusiak, who shot that wide. Warwa to Andrusiak, who steps in, stopped by Greenlee. As the ball comes right back to Warwa up top. Basinger to Royer. as the ball goes around the perimeter here. And now Basinger with a cross pick, and Nicholson was going to do the same on the opposite side. Shot came in before that happened though, and it went wide. Now a battle for the loose ball, and it's picked up by Nicholson. Warwa to Basinger. Royer, rough angle shot. As that ball almost got put into his own net by Greenlee, but Harnack is there to pick up the loose change. Harnack, deep pass. Over-calibrated that one as the ball bounces into the far corner, and it's picked up by the Warriors with 50 seconds remaining on the power play. So the Warriors a little slow to get on the floor here. Royer up top. Warwa gets hit, hands it off to Andrusiak, back to Warwa. Royer gets pressed up on, and that shot goes wide. Loose ball right to Andrusiak, who fired that wide. As the Warrior power play a little bit of out of rhythm or out of sync here early in the season. As the Mavericks will come back into the zone with 15 seconds left on the kill. As the ball is kept by the Mavericks, they're going to call moving pick, and the Warriors will possess. As the Warriors try to fast break here. As Reich found himself on the wrong side of the floor, tried to twist that one in, stopped by Greenlee. Ball goes back down into the Warriors zone. They'll get a reset. At least they should get a reset. I guess they say that didn't hit the goaltender. As 12s throws a bad pass. It's picked up by Andrusiak on the bounce. Andrusiak working the two-man game, and then he goes to the net by himself. Rebound, and that's fought off by Greenlee, who's bent backwards and somehow keeps it out. Fans think this went in. I do not believe so. But now the refs are talking about it. It is a goal, according to the referees. So the Warriors will regain their lead on an odd one. So as we make our way to the midway mark of the game, the Mavericks have yet to lead here. It was 2-0 Warriors early, 2-1, 4-1, and then the Mavericks tied it up a few moments ago, and now the Warriors find themselves back up by a score of 5-4. As the ball goes down into the near corner, Victoria with some jam up high. He gets met with a check. He swings it into the stick of Catadil, who tried to throw that back over to the lefties, but some type of moving pick was called, or infraction on the Mavericks. It'll be Warrior ball. Reich to Warwa. Warwa hands off, and he'll slip to the net here. Good recovery there by the Maverick defense. Loose ball to Lemieux. Lemieux, heavy traffic inside, gets knocked down, and that's going to be a Maverick possession. Maybe could have been interference there. Hit carried on for quite a while after, and now Stashnik's got a breakaway. Stashnik in, scores! Brody Stashnik pumps it short side rather easily on Greenlee, and it's 6-4. A broken play resulting in another fast break opportunity for the Warriors, and it's usually the Mavericks who are taking advantage of those. In this game, it's been primarily the Warriors with the 2-on-1s and breakaways. And they capitalized there. As Harnack with another loose ball off the draw. as he circles back and he gets the ball to Victoria. Now into the net front area, and it's peeled out by Clayton. Clayton, two-man game with Victoria. He flips it back to Victoria. He steps into one, stopped by Bialik. And here the Warriors go. Reich once again is going to go all the way to the net. Reich off the bar as he hit post and kissed the red pipe. Ball bounces back down into the Warrior zone. It's going to be picked back up by Morrow. Owen Morrow gets the ball over to the righties. Here's Andrusiak. Andrusiak up high. They're going to call a moving pick, and it's going to be Maverick ball as they look to transition quickly out. Clayton, who's been dangerous in this game, has got one. Gets it over to Bauming, who also has a marker for the Mavericks. Tried to hit Zimmer in behind the net. That was way wild. And now here go the Warriors once again. Two Mavericks back and in position, so Morrow will pull out. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on NetFront Sports. Make sure you hit subscribe, like these games, these podcasts, these videos, and let's get this out to as many people as we can, as the two-man game was working there for the Warriors, but Royer couldn't bring in the ball. And the ball gets picked up by the loose ball vacuum, Harnack, and he transitions out. Harnack right to the net, and they call moving on the Mavericks. It'll be Warrior possession. Pretty unnecessary, really, there for the Mavericks, as Harnack was free and in with a full head of steam towards the net. It'll be Maverick ball now on the loose ball push. Ball now with Victoria. Looks to feed. Bosworth, bounce shot, that goes off a body. And back over. It'll be Warrior ball. For anybody wondering why this game is taking place here and not in the typical home arena of the Warriors, Bill Hunter, it is because the carpet was not seen fit to use quite yet, so the city needs to do some work on it. That's why we're here playing in Southside Arena as Hoagland whines and fires, and that shot is not calibrated correctly. It'll be Maverick ball. Ball's dropped, and then a push on the back. It'll be a penalty, and the Mavericks will get an opportunity on the power play. Officials staying consistent here. They've called that really all game, even though it wasn't really consequential as the ball had been lost. It was a push on the back, and it had enough force. Yeah, they call it a cross check. That's why you don't see a 4-minute, because it wasn't all that violent. The Mavericks will have 2 minutes to work on the power play. Ball goes around the perimeter. Victoria down low. Back up high to Catadill. Bauming with the cut. They don't hit him. Up pick. Now it goes in behind the net to Bauming. Clayton tries to crease dive, and he was jammed up with no room. And he stepped into the crease. It'll be Warrior ball. They want to start this back up. The ref saying he didn't blow his whistle yet. Here's Lemieux. Gets it over and down low to Nicholson. Nicholson swings it into the stick of Royer. Royer to the half wall for Morris. Morris. As the Warriors work it around, here shorthanded. Nicholson feeds it down low, and good catch there by Warwa as he kind of had to bring it in a second time as the ball was popping out of his stick. Tried to go 5-hole. Greenlee shuts the door. That was a save the Mavericks had to have. Down 2 midway through the game. Can't give up a shorthanded goal there off of a bit of a broken play. Here's Victoria. Catadill skips it. Tried to hit Clayton. That went awry, and then Victoria right into the chest protector of Bialik. High pass is going to be brought in by Morrow. Morrow, with 30 seconds left to kill, gets the ball up safely near the rag line. Hoagland. That is a harmless shot that goes wide by Hilkowicz. And we'll get our second media timeout of the game as we hit the midway point of the second period and the game with the Warriors up by a score of 6-4. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in to NetFront Sports. Same channel as Crowlax. We just rebranded, changed the name. If you've subscribed to Crowlax, you will be already subscribed to NetFront, so you don't need to worry about that. Just hit the like, pound the like button in all these games and all these podcasts so this content can get out to as many people as possible and we can grow the channel. Free lacrosse, and that'll never change. So as I mentioned off the top, this is a matchup of two teams that have been to the last 4 Founders Cups. The Mavericks in 2025, 2024, and the Warriors in 2023 and 2022, each as the Alberta representatives. Mavericks made it to the bronze medal game where they lost to a team they know well, a team they played in the Larry Bishop final, the Calgary Shamrocks, and have undergone a bunch of change, a bunch of personnel change. They're a lot younger, a lot more inexperienced, and have lost quite a bit of talent from a year ago. But you can bet they'll be in the mix, and they're showing here that they're definitely not going to go quietly. Down 4-1, tied it, now down 6-4, and we've got a close game here as we move into the second half of the game. Mavericks going to hold and wait for the Warriors' penalty to release so they don't get caught on the fast break. Victoria down low. Clayton shuffles up top. Clayton, Victoria didn't handle the pass, and it's picked up by the Warriors. And that's picked off by Bosworth. Good athletic play there by Blair Bosworth, and the Maverick offense will have another possession. Back in the stick of Bosworth. Victoria quickly to the half wall for Crossy. Victoria rolls off a pick and tried to float that far side. Bialik said no. And now great pass on the bounce. Tough to handle though for Reich. Those are always tough on the short bounce or the quick bounce, and the Mavericks survived that. Now 8 minutes to go here in the second period. Warriors continue to lead by 2.
You've got nice curls.
And now another call. Another offensive zone penalty has been taken by the Mavericks, and it looks like Zimmer will head off. The Warriors power play looks to have a better outing than they had the last couple. That shot is ripped home by Andrusiak. Short side high on a riser, 7-4. If you're not familiar with Andrusiak, that's what he loves to do. He loves to step into outside shots, put all his weight into it, and that riser caught Greenlee with really no chance. Great shot, probably the toughest kind of shot for a goalie to handle, that short side pull shot. The Warriors have their 3-goal lead back. Cutter, and that it's going to turn over, another moving pick, and it'll be Warrior possession. As the Warriors look to pull it out and set up the offense. Another delayed call coming up here to the Mavericks, as there's been some bad penalties taken in this one. And the Warriors are about to return to the power play. Looks like they're calling on sportsmanlike. So the Mavericks are going to go down once again here for unsportsmanlike. That's what I thought, as the Warriors set back up. Good pressure there by Benko, who's all over it here as he chases Warwa across the blue line. Down low, Royer tried to hit Basinger. That was at his feet. As the Warriors recollect, Warwa steps into one and he misses the net. Maverick possession. Here's Murray. Rumbling into Warrior traffic. He swings it to Victoria, who spins off a check from Stashik. Stashik being real physical here as he rides Victoria into the boards. And Stashnik and Victoria push and shove behind the play. Warriors with about 50 seconds left on the man advantage. Now we got another call coming up. And this one's going to the Warriors. Looks like a legal substitution. They need somebody to serve, and they still don't have anybody to serve here. Warriors lucky they're not getting delay a game here. So 4-on-4 they go as Clayton works his way down the near side, rolls off a check. Now he's got Victoria. The slide comes, shot, and that was good ball movement. Good look there by Bosworth. Good stop by Bialik. Now in tight, and they score. Off the turnover. Cadadil with his first of the game, and the Mavericks draw back in to this one. It was 4-on-4. The Warrior tried to leave the box, so stay 4-on-4 because it's even strength. And now Bialik is down in his crease. They're going to need some medical attention here. It looks like he might have tweaked something in his leg, maybe, or maybe it might just be equipment. Might just be equipment. His leg pad might be loose. Maybe just getting some tape work done. So we sit here 7-5 now. Warriors lead with 5:43 to go here in the second period. And the Warriors keep getting that 2 or 3 goal lead. The Mavericks keep fighting back here. The teams will remain 4-on-4 for the next 37 seconds, and then the Mavericks will have an abbreviated power play. Thanks so much for joining us once again, guys. It's great to be back in the arena. Lacrosse is such a great sport. The community is small. Everybody knows everyone. And we want to thank you for being part of it. It'd be useless what we do if we didn't have you guys tuning in. Feel free to hit us up in the live chat. Let us know what you're thinking, predictions, what teams you like this year, who you think's going all the way, who's winning the Larry Bishop. And it does appear to look like Bialik is banged up because he's coming out of the net. And Charlie Graham, the big man, coming out of U17A, the St. Albert kid, will go in net for the Warriors. Warriors will win the draw. And the ball's brought in by Lafleur, and that low shot just caught a piece of the leg of Greenlee. Big stop there. I don't think he really saw the ball, and now a Maverick is drawn or brought down, and the Warriors are going to have to send another man to the box. So we'll play 4-on-3, and if the Mavericks don't score, it'll become a 5-on-3 in 17 seconds. We'll start it off with Cadadill. Clayton back to Cadadill. He looks at the net. He goes back over to Clayton. Ball down low, back up to Clayton as they step in and work their way to the net, and that quick stick didn't connect. Loose ball picked back up by Victoria. Now with Cadadill. Quick stick and great save by Graham as he got across, showing you that he's not just a big goaltender, he's got good feet as well. And back over. Cadadill tried to get that quick stick look to Victoria again. The ball pass was wild. Skip to Clayton. Clayton, and that's soaked by Muir right in front of the net. As the veteran does good work there, that bounce shot goes wide. And the Warriors will gain possession. Down by a pair of players here. 5-on-3. Easily run up by Muir. As he gets across center and goes deep in behind the net. Double comes. As the Mavericks got to be careful here not to take a penalty. As that's a good loose ball by goaltender Greenlee. And they're going to have to hurry here. So they got a 3-on-2, but they change. And now the ball's dropped, and they're going to have to set up. Ball skipped down to Victoria. Another call is coming up here to the Warriors, as the Mavericks would be smart to shoot this ball. As a Warriors released it, it's 5-on-4 for the moment. Cadadill behind the net, bad pass, off the glass, 30 seconds go, and we'll go back to playing 5-on-3 in favor of the Mavericks. No surprise, Harnack will be the guy up top to grab any loose ball that might come near center. And the Mavericks will set up the power. Ball works across the top, back and forth, down low. Victoria doesn't bring it in. He picks it up off the wall. Clayton gets it back, winds and fires. And that looked like it went 5-hole as Graham, for some reason, picked his stick up off the floor. And it's 7-6. So again, the Mavericks fall down by 3, and it's a 1-goal game. Last time they fell down by 3, they tied it. And you can see that just the attitude and the belief of this team, even though they're not the same group, this is the last team in the league that's just going to kind of roll over and die. As the ball is possessed once again by the visitors. Cross-crease pass, and that goes in. As a bit of a no-look feed from Victoria, set that one up. And Bosworth is able to tuck that home. So pretty good work there by Victoria to kind of lull the box into a trance almost, get them to fall asleep, and it freed up Bosworth to go back door and quick stick that one home before the big netminder Graham could get across. So once again, we are tied. And now we got a moving pick. And the Mavericks got a partial break here. right down the floor. Go the Mavericks, and a low-to-low in transition. Beats Graham by the foot, and I believe that's Liam Steele getting that one for the visitors, and it's 8-7, the Mavericks with their first lead of the game with 3 minutes to go in the second period. Bialik's got his helmet back on. It looks like he might come back into this game. As the ball's picked up by the Mavericks off the face-off violation. Continuous possession here for the Mavericks over the last few minutes, and it's brought them right back into this game. Here's Clayton. Swings it to Cadadill. Cadadill down underneath. Cadadill, good stop there by Graham. Rebound, and it's picked up and put home by Cadadill. 9-7 Mavericks. So Bialik makes his way back in. And it's picked up by the Warriors off the draw. Partial 2-on-1 here. 12s, and it's stopped by Greenlee as he tried to reach around him low. Greenlee shuts the door, and now heavy pressure by the Warriors is going to turn the ball over momentarily, but the Mavericks, thinking they didn't have any time left on the 8-second count, just throw it down the floor. Here come the Warriors back into the danger area of the floor. Royer to the half wall. He hits Hoagland. Shifty rookie gets it over to the left side. Now Warwa tries to give and go. He tries to cut to the net, and he got disrupted right before he could let a shot go on top of the crease. And now here go the Mavs back down the floor, and it's going to be peeled out by Grodecki. Grodecki hands off to Cadadill, who just got the last goal of this game. The second opportunity off of his own rebound. Bauming winds and fires, and that goes high and wide. And now a breakaway opportunity. Here go the Warriors, and it's Muir, the veteran, in, scores! Lachlan Muir did exactly what Brody Stashnik did, leaned to the far side and just threw it into what was a relatively wide open short side, and it's 9-8. Another draw is going to be brought in by the Mavericks. It's Liam Steele, who just got on the board as well for the Mavericks. Cadadill swings it to Victoria. Victoria across the top, sweeps the dotted, and he tried to dunk it up over top of Bialik. Good save there by the netminder. Bauming sends it over to Clayton. Victoria from behind the net tried to wrap it around, and that got fought off by Bialik. And the Warriors will gain possession here. Ball's thrown away off a stick, and it's picked up by the Mavericks. As a bit of a hold there, goes by the wayside. They don't call it, and it's stopped by Bialik. And now the Warriors will call it transition, or call it timeout in transition, and with 10 seconds left, they'll try and draw something up. So the Warriors will attempt to tie this one before we go into the second intermission. Mavericks enjoying their first lead of the game here. Once again, they got down 2-0, 2-1, 4-1, tied it at 4, got down 7-4, and then they went on a massive 5-goal run to take a 9-7 lead. It's now 9-8 with 12 seconds to go. The tune's bumping, and the Warriors about to go 6-on-5 here out of the timeout. And Druziak will bring it up into the stick. Now of Royer. Royer sweeps the top. He's bothered there. A second defender comes. The ball gets thrown away, and with the net empty, time will run out. And the Mavericks will take the lead into the locker room. I want to thank you for tuning in here on NetFront Sports. We got the South representing Mavericks and the North representing Warriors. Going head-to-head here from George Hughes Arena. Score after 2 periods, the Mavericks 9, the Warriors 8. We'll be right back with you on NetFront Sports. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. And welcome back inside George Hughes Southside Arena for third period action of the Edmonton Warriors and the Mountain View Mavericks. Season opener for both these clubs, obviously coming in at 0-0, looking for their first win of the season and to start off undefeated. The Mavericks with the 9-8 lead after trailing for the majority of the game. They fought back. Bialik leaving the game, the Warrior netminder, for about 5 minutes, and the Mavericks went on a big run. He's now back in, and the Mavericks lead by 1 as we start this third period. Royer, he's gonna work his way to the dotted or near it, and he gets chased to the wrong side of the floor, and he defers to Hoagland. Hoagland picks set by Royer. He tries to roll off. Hoagland's gonna keep it. Hoagland shoots, stops, rebound, and that's stopped as well by Greenlee. As we've seen a few opportunities for each team off of balls off the boards and off the goalie. Don't see that too often in lacrosse. As the ball gets swung over to Hoagland once again. Hoagland dances and shoots and scores. Hoagland got that to roll through Greenlee somehow, some way. The Warriors even it up at 9s. Ball's picked up by the Mavericks. Harnack once again, who again is just a machine. Definitely has stood out here. And another machine picks it up in Reich. He gets it quickly up floor. Now they tried to hit Andrusiak off the bench. He was cutting hard, but the ball missed him, and now it'll be Maverick possession. In a game that has never had a lead larger than 3. That's been the Warriors both times at 4-1 and 7-4. Mavericks up high across the dotted, and that was a rip from Bauming, and he caught iron the crossbar up over top of Bialik. And obviously didn't go in, but that was the shot of the game so far. That was a bullet. Great release too by Bauming. But it stays out, and we stay tied. Ball in behind the net. Here is Bosworth. Bosworth feeds up top. Shot sails wide by Clayton. Rebound. Bauming misses the target. Gets it back. Bauming sends it over. Gets it back. Up high. Winds and fires. And that gets soaked as a delayed call is coming up against the Warriors. And we will have a Maverick power play. Muir goes back to the box. As they start play, the Mavericks didn't have somebody up top. They race back to get the ball. Victoria down low to Clayton. Gets it back to Victoria. Cadadil up top. Plays catch with Victoria. Now down low. Back up to Victoria. Bauming in the middle. Trying to set a little bit of a pick. And he gets it and he rolls to the net. And buries it past Bialik on a nice set play there. And Bauming gives the Mavericks their lead back once again. That's something you see a lot more of these days is a power play, sending a guy into the middle and setting those back picks and then rolling off of it to the net and getting a pass from down low, one of the creasemen. And that's what they do there to perfection. And I know somebody down south by the name of Jason Crook who loves to set up his power plays like that. And good look there for Bauming, and he makes no mistake, 10-9. Up high, 12s. Swings it over into the stick of Andrusiak. Andrusiak winds and fires. Good shoulder save there by Greenlee. Ball goes loose. A pair of Warriors fight with a pair of Mavericks, and Andrusiak comes out with the loose ball. Ball gets stripped away from him. Nicholson fights for it behind the net. Dylan Nicholson, great work there, grabs it, but he's tied up by a couple of defenders. Trying to get out from behind the net. The ball goes loose. And it's picked up by the Mavericks as they find safe haven. Harnack doing yeoman's work to get the ball up the floor, does so. And he hands off, deferring it to Clayton. Clayton working with Zimmer on the left side. Clayton looking for a pick. He gets it in behind the net to Bosworth. Bosworth swiftly up high, tried to swing it into the stick of Zimmer. The ball goes loose and it's picked up by the Warriors. And all the way to the net, shut off by Greenlee, was Austin Allen. Good loose ball there by Muir. Sends it into the corner. Basinger can't handle it, and that's another turnover. As the ball sits up high in the stick of Victoria now, as he trots down the far side. He's got Crossy with him on the left side, Bauming right side, in behind the net. Clayton with the reach, and he scores! Another look from behind the net, that's Crossy. I know, that is Clayton. And Clayton is able to use his height and his reach to put that in the near short side from behind the net. He tucks it home. It's 11-9. Another contested draws, this time picked up by the Warriors, and Morris down low and right on top of the crease. Royer couldn't bring the ball in as he had a golden opportunity there. Ball goes loose and there's a melee that ensues, and Benko comes out of the pile with it. Now off the bench comes the Maverick offense. Clayton hopping around, thought about shooting, doesn't elect to do so. Bosworth now with it. Across the top, easy save by Bialik. Rebound, ball comes up back up to the dotted. It's going to be kicked by the Warriors near center as Russell charges at it. Had no stick, so he couldn't pick it up. And now Stashnik keeps it loose as he fights with a couple of Mavericks. Stashnik continues to keep it loose. Great job by the veteran. And the Mavericks with 5 seconds left bring it back in the zone, and Benko with a swim move got a shot off, and Bialik made the save. Just under 15 minutes to go here in the game. Mavericks leading by a score of 11-9. Hoagland dances around, gets a pick, feeds it to the net. Great save there by Greenlee down low as he turned away a really high danger opportunity there from the Warriors. Now rolling to the net is Warwa. He gets pushed away from the danger zone. Back up, Andrusiak way wide. And it'll be Maverick possession as Bowie makes his way back after getting that opportunity offensively to play some D. Here's Victoria, beats his guy underneath. Victoria scores. Jace Victoria beat his man like a rented mule, and he taunts the crowd a little bit. It's 12-9. That's the one lane that you can't give up as a defender, that underneath drive, because you often don't have help. Your help's in the middle of the floor, not underneath, and the Warriors pay there. And they call a face-off violation. Morris hands off to Royer. Basinger to Royer. They work the two-man game. Royer steps across the top, moves it, gets it back, and it's picked off, and here come the Mavericks. Back down floor, breakaway, stop by Bialik, and that's a huge stop. The Warriors down 3 in just over 13 minutes to go as he turned away Andrew Murray. Good loose ball, though, now by the Mavericks, and they're going to get a new 30. And this is the time of game where you can really start to wear on the other team, tire them out, make them have to play more defense than they want. And with a lead, it becomes much more of a mountain to climb to try and get back into the game if you're the Warriors. As that ball goes wide, picked up Bosworth, sails one, and that just missed up high. It's just dropped into the corner. I think they gave him a reset for some reason. Doesn't matter though, as the Mavericks gave the ball back, it'll be Warrior ball. As Muir peels out, and he'll hand it off to Morris. Shot comes in off the back foot of Hoagland, picked up by Warwa. Hoagland back with it. Loves to take that outside sub shot. That one misses. And that's going to go back over. Maverick ball. Next 3 or 4 minutes, key in this one. Obviously, you get down towards the 5-minute mark, 6-7-minute mark, down by multiple goals. It becomes very tough as possessions start to dwindle. You're talking about at the 5-minute mark, you might only get 5 more possessions. As the ball goes back down over center, and it's going to be a Warrior ball. So the Mavericks kind of give them a gift possession here. Here's Royer out of the far corner, gets it up to Twells. Twells gets it back to Royer. As the lefties cut off ball, and Druziak had that go in behind him. He's going to have to go collect the loose ball, and the ball rolls back out top to Twells. Twells has got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Throws that way over the head of Royer. He picks it off the glass. Royer tried to dunk it over top of Greenlee. That's stopped. Loose ball by Hoagland. Hoagland in behind the net. Royer from behind the net attempted a two-handed dunk. Stopped by Greenlee. And here come the Mavericks back into the offensive portion of the floor. 11:30 to go. They lead by 3 here. As they set up. 2-man game. On the right, or on the left side. Now it's over on the right side with Bosworth. He collects the loose ball. As Clayton rips one off of the midsection of Bialik. Loose ball goes into the near corner. It's picked up by Lemieux. As Matt Lemieux gets stripped, and the ball is going to be picked up by Victoria. Breakaway pass, good grab by Harnack, and that goes off of the pipe. And the ball will bounce back down into the stick of the Mavericks, and they'll get a reset. As Victoria and Harnack connected on that, and they've both been all over this game. Here's Bauming bouncing around on the right side, loses it. Picked back up by the Mavericks. Ball is shot from the left side, and that misses the net. Be a Warrior ball with just over 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Ball up top. 12s down into the far corner. Swung back up high. Nicholson off balance shot. That gets blocked. And the Mavericks push that back down the floor, so it will not be over and back. Warriors, new shot clock. Oh, they're counting it down, so it won't be a shot clock, or it will be a shot clock violation. And the ball's picked up by Banco. He loses his balance momentarily, but he gets back up and brings the ball into the zone. Now he hits a cutter, and Bosworth couldn't quite bring that in. He gets hit from behind, and the Warriors will go back to the box. So it'll be a 2-minute cross-checking call, and the Mavericks will go back to the power play up 3 as we move into the later portions of this one. Caddido around the pick. Gets it as Bauming tried to rip that down to Victoria on the far crease. Picked up by Caddido, and that's fought off by Bialik as he looks to outlet. Pass. Nice grab there by Muir. Muir right in, Muir, and he put it right into the logo of Mr. Greenlee, who throws a bad pass, but it's going to be picked up here by the Mavericks, and then good job to keep his wherewithal was Clayton to get that ball down to Victoria and allow this power play to get set up. The next goal, massive in this one, as one more by the Mavericks probably puts this away. Seal by Bauming. The ball gets thrown over the head of Victoria, though. That shot comes in and goes through Bialik, one he'll want to have back. And as I just talked about, that's a big one, and the hill just got a lot steeper for the Warriors. So with that, the Mavericks take a 4-goal lead and will have possession off of the loose ball interference call. In front, Caddido couldn't bring it in off the cut. Victoria will grab the loose ball. Another delayed call coming up here against the Warriors, and now another one's going to come in as there's a bit of a chaotic chase here on the near boards. Zimmer holds it, gets it down to the lefties. Clayton thought about shooting, gets it back up. Zimmer with a long outside shot as Harnack got brought down by 12s. 12s will make his way to the box, as will Stashnik. So the Mavericks will set up on a 5-on-3 with 8 minutes to go. As the officials explain the calls to head coach Vadiep, once again, I want to thank you for joining us here on NetFront Sports. Just hit like and subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. And be with us all season long as we cover the Junior B Tier 1 loop in particular, in depth with podcast content, written content, and of course the games themselves. And like these games up on the YouTube channel, on the podcast as well, so we can get more people notified and aware of the channel as well. So it looks like a 2 and a 4 were assessed to the Warriors, so it's going to be an extended power play. 2 minutes, 5-on-3, and if they don't score, then they'll have an additional 2 minutes after that. Ball is worked across the top now as they start to creep in towards the dotted. Caddido. Clayton off of the legs of Lafleur. That shot gets soaked by the Warriors. Good job by them. Then a shot comes in, stopped by Bialik. As the Warriors throw a high pass into the ceiling, and it'll be Maverick possession. So the Mavericks will set back up. And really, the time off the clock is probably more valuable, or as valuable as scoring here. As the Mavericks set back up, Caddido winds, fires, easy block there by the Warriors box. Good stick in the lane, and then the ball comes back out. Clayton off of the pipe as the ball goes in behind the net, works its way back out in front. and it pops back into the stick of Harnack. And then it's going to get a reset here, and you can bet they'll drain clock. And apparently a timeout is going to be taken by the Mavericks. So we restart play here with the Mavericks still on the 5-on-3. You can bet that their coaching staff told them not to shoot early in the shot clock here. They tried a cross crease pass. Victoria had to double clutch that. Clayton Catadill tried to fire that on the seam pass down to the crease. On the diagonal, went off a Warrior, and Mavericks will get a reset. As this clock just drains, now down underneath 6.5. Another wild pass pops up in the air. It's going to get saved by Harnack. Catadill. Into the middle, Bauming was tied up, couldn't get the A shot off. Now Catadill steps in, good save by Bialik, but it goes out of play, and another reset by the Mavericks. As Stashnik returns to the floor, it's now 5-on-4. 2 minutes remain in the 12s penalty, so by the time we go even strength again, if the Mavericks don't score, we're going to have 4 minutes to go. And as you can see on our feed, the Mavericks lead by 4. As that quick stick came in from Victoria, just missed. Winding and firing, and that hit something in front. Another shot comes in, misses the target, and it'll be Warrior ball. Out of the corner comes Warwa. Now Morris, far side, swings it, or thought about swinging it. He's going to shoot it. And that goes way wide. And here come the Mavericks. Partial 2-on-1. Stopped by Bialik as that shot came in off the wrong side of the floor. As that ball is probably one you want to hold if you're the Mavericks, but they're going to regain possession here on the turnover as we dip under 5 minutes now. Catadill works up across the top. Gets it back. As they start motion off the right side, Bauming in tight, and good stop there by Bialik. As the crease cut across the top of the crease, the creaseman cut across the top of the crease, Bauming cut off the shooter. And a good opportunity. It's turned away by Bialik. As Russell rolls off of a check. As he takes a heavy hack, no call. And the ball eventually goes loose. That's thrown high over the head of Andrusiak. It'll be back over and Maverick ball. Can the Warriors complete what would be a miraculous comeback at this point with 4 minutes to go, down 4? They're about to go to even strength here as Stashnik, or as 12s comes out of the box. In tight, Zimmer on the cut. And that, I don't think that made its way to the net. And I'm not sure he brought it in as Stashnik brings the ball across center and deep into Maverick territory. Stashnik goes for a run. He's chased there by Catadil. Stashnik runs around the net, out in front, and Hilkowicz tucks it home. It looked like his angle was too severe, but he found a way to put it into the yawning cage, and it's 13-10. Good athletic play around the net by Hilkowicz when it looked like he didn't have enough room or a good enough angle to get the head of his stick to see mesh. He was able to tuck it in behind Greenlee, and the Warriors have some kind of life here. Harnack, another loose ball off the draw. And the Maverick offense will set up. Here's Victoria. To Bauming. Bauming to the net. Bauming, far side, and that stuck home. Just getting by Bialik to make it 14-10. And if the game wasn't sealed, that will seal it. Kicked back by Morris. They're going to give the ball to the Mavericks. As they sit back up, here is Bosworth. Spins back, swings it. Victoria looks, feeds. As the ball swings back over to Bosworth off the right side, he comes up high with it. Tried to feed it back to Catadil. That hit the floor and went into the glass. Looks like some sort of moving pick. That'll be Warrior ball. 2:30 to go. Thought they might try to pull Bialik. They don't look like they're going to do so, and the ball's picked up off the save by Greenlee. Here comes Harnack, jogging into the offensive zone. And he gets it to Bauming. Bauming, Victoria. To Bauming. Tries to go underneath. He's pushed away. Good defense there by Bowie. But the ball goes back over center. It'll be Warrior possession on the back over. Bowie across center. He's chased by Harnack. The double comes, but they overcommitted, and then Bowie almost got to the net. The ball turns over, and the ball is raced back over center by the Mavericks. So the Warriors have to be real aggressive here. There's only a minute and a half left, down by 4. They need the ball back to have any kind of chance. But the ball is grabbed by the Mavericks and scooped inside. Bosworth tried to tuck it short side, stopped by Bialik. Actually might have just missed the net as they didn't reset it. And now with a minute to go, the Warriors will get back on offense. Here's Warwa, chased up high. He goes into the near corner and back up top. Up high. Fed over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak looks into the middle, swings it, it's picked off, and here goes Ertmed. Ertmed scores. And that is the icing on the cake, as this one was already sealed, but the Mavericks will add another. And in what other way than a breakaway, as they so often do, it's 15-10. So the Mavericks will start off their campaign in 2026 with a 1-0 record. The Warriors will start 0-1 as they go to play the Outlaws in Beaumont tomorrow afternoon. That'll be a 4 o'clock start right here on NetFront. You can catch that game live on the channel as Harnack brings it up the floor one last time here, and he's surrounded by Warriors. And now the Warriors are going to take another penalty. At this point, they should just run the clock. Yeah, I don't know why they're not running the clock, but they're not. There's 19 seconds left, 20 seconds left. 5-goal game. So the Warriors, as I said, will start 0-1. They'll travel to Beaumont to take on the Outlaws tomorrow, while the Mavericks kick off their first year in the South 1-0. That shot comes in, stopped by Greenlee. The net's empty now. I'm surprised it is now. And a good stop there by the stick of Hoagland. Good job to not give up there as he knocked the pass down. And that's going to do it. With the final score, the Mountain View Mavericks 15, the Edmonton Warriors 10. The Mavericks start off 2026 1-0. The Warriors will begin 0-1. You can catch more NetFront Lacrosse tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock on the channel. Remember to hit like and subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. There's podcasts weekly. There's plenty of content. We'll try to get some written content out over the course of the season. Maybe some video content as well. So yeah, just hit subscribe and you'll be notified anytime there's something new on the channel. And of course, anytime a game goes live. Final score from Southside Arena. The Mountain View Mavericks 15, the Edmonton Warriors 10. We thank you so much for joining us here this evening, and we'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon. Thanks so much, everyone.